Have you ever wondered what it takes to escape from one of the most secure prisons in the world? In a story of sheer determination and ingenuity, two men did the impossible. They broke out of a prison designed to be escape-proof. But that was only the beginning of their harrowing journey. Let's dive into one of the most daring prison escapes in American history, filled with relentless courage, unimaginable risks, and a fight for freedom. Number 1. The setting. The Delta's infamous prison. The Mississippi Delta, a vast, unforgiving landscape stretching over 200 miles from north to south, hides one of the darkest corners of American history, the Mississippi State Penitentiary, better known as Parchman. Built in 1901, Parchman was more than just a prison. It was a symbol of exploitation, where African-American men were forced to labor under brutal conditions. Over time, it earned a notorious reputation for being a living nightmare, a place where hope perished. Spread across 18,000 acres, Parchman became infamous not only for its size, but also for its hellish conditions. Prison murders, suicides, rusted pipes, and infestations of rodents were only the beginning. It wasn't just the physical barriers that kept inmates trapped. Outside the prison walls, the Mississippi Delta's swamps, thick mud, and suffocating heat made escape nearly impossible. Yet two men dared to defy the odds. Number 2. The Supermax, Unit 32. At the heart of Parchman lies Unit 32, the prison's Supermax facility. This is where the most dangerous criminals are held, from murderers to escape artists, under conditions so severe it's been described as a violent, unhygienic hellhole. The unit is surrounded by a double-fenced kill zone, guard towers armed with shoot-to-kill orders, and reinforced steel walls. The prison was designed to crush not just bodies, but minds. Escape was simply not an option. And yet, one man was determined to defy the system: Roy Harper. Number 3. Roy Harper, a prisoner with a plan. Roy Harper wasn't your average prisoner. Sentenced to 88 years without parole for armed robbery in 1982, Harper had already escaped from an Arizona prison in 1981. Known as a high-risk escape artist, Harper was one of the first prisoners sent to Unit 32 in 1990. But even in this fortress of despair, one thought consumed him: escape. In 1993, Harper made his first attempt, trying to saw through prison's defenses with a smuggled hacksaw blade. Though he was caught and severely punished, it only fueled his determination. He knew that to escape this time, he would need more than just nerve. He would need a well-thought-out plan. Number 4. Corruption, the key to escaping. Parchman was a prison riddled with corruption. For $40, Harper managed to bribe a guard into giving him tools he would need for his escape. But that was just the beginning. He also needed to figure out how to unscrew the bolts securing the window bars. Using pieces of broken light fixtures and pencil-sharpened blades, Harper ingeniously crafted a makeshift wrench. Slowly but surely, Harper began to make progress, carefully avoiding the eyes of guards stationed only 20 feet away. But Harper wasn't alone for long. His plan was about to get a new, dangerous addition: John Ward. Number 5. A dangerous partnership. John Ward, a convicted murderer with an even more notorious reputation than Harper, became Harper's cell neighbor. With Ward next door, the risk of being caught skyrocketed. But Harper knew that if he was going to make it out, he needed an ally. The two men met during their brief yard time and formed an escape partnership. More hands meant more risk, but it also meant a higher chance of survival once outside the prison walls. Number 6. Planning the escape. Stage 1. The plan was simple but dangerous. Stage 1. Get through the fortified window. Stage 2. Cross the prison yard without being seen. Stage 3. Breach the outer fences and disappear into the Delta. The first hurdle was their cell window. Reinforced with steel bars and tempered glass, it seemed impenetrable. But Harper's makeshift wrench allowed them to remove the bolts, and after weeks of careful cutting and prying, the window was loose. But just when things seemed to be progressing smoothly, the warden made an unscheduled inspection. Harper, caught mid-escape, quickly distracted the warden with confident small talk, allowing him to narrowly avoid being caught. Number 7. The Escape. Stage 2. Once the window was pried open, Harper and Ward had to wait until midnight after the final cell check. They covered their tracks carefully, hanging sheets over the windows and creating dummies in their beds to fool the guards. Dressed in smuggled death row jumpsuits to blend into the darkness, the two prisoners climbed out of their cell and into the night. Now came the most dangerous part, crossing the exposed yard under the watchful eyes of guard towers. The yard was surrounded by floodlights and guarded by patrols, and any mistake could be fatal. Harper and Ward timed their movements with military precision, staying in the shadows as they crept along the perimeter of the prison. Number 8. Crossing the kill zone. Between them and freedom lay the kill zone, 2 layers of razor wire fences designed to trap and kill anyone who dared to cross. Armed with hacksaw blades, Harper and Ward began cutting through the fence. Just as they were about to clear the second fence, a patrol car's headlights flashed on them. It seemed like their time was up, but luck was on their side. The car drove past without noticing them. In a final push, they made it through the second fence and found themselves outside the Supermax prison. But the Delta awaited, a far more dangerous enemy than the prison they had just escaped from. Number 9. The Delta, nature's prison. By dawn, Harper and Ward were deep into the Mississippi Delta, running through the swampy, mosquito-infested wilderness. The Delta was a natural prison, and the rising sun made the flat landscape a glaring spotlight. They knew they were exposed. Desperation set in as they searched for shelter and found a rare patch of dense thicket to hide in. For hours, they lay motionless, hoping to evade the inevitable manhunt. Number 10. The manhunt begins. Back at Unit 32, the guards remained unaware of the escape for hours. It wasn't until a routine morning check revealed that Harper and Ward had left their breakfast trays untouched that suspicions arose. The realization set off a wave of panic. Guards scrambled to secure the facility, and a full lockdown was enforced. It was too late. The two had gained a crucial 12-hour head start, a rare advantage in such a high-security environment. Law enforcement agencies, including local police, state troopers, and even the FBI, were notified, launching one of the most intense manhunts the Delta had ever seen. Helicopters circled the skies, tracking dogs combed the nearby swamps, and roadblocks were set up in every possible direction. Yet Harper and Ward pressed forward, aware that their brief window of advantage was closing with every passing hour. Number 11. The aftermath, the fight for freedom. As the sun set on their first day of freedom, the cold reality began to sink in for Harper and Ward. The Mississippi Delta was as hostile as it was vast. The duo had no food, little water, and the relentless heat bore down on them as they pushed further into the wilderness. While the escape had been meticulously planned, they hadn't anticipated the physical toll the swamps would take on their bodies. With each passing hour, exhaustion and hunger gnawed at them, making every step feel heavier than the last. Meanwhile, search teams intensified their efforts, using thermal imaging and drones to scan the dense marshlands. Harper and Ward's fight for freedom had turned into a desperate battle for survival. The line between hope and hopelessness blurred as they realized that freedom, once within their grasp, might slip away just as quickly. Their escape story would soon become the stuff of legend, but at what cost? This incredible escape from America's most feared Supermax prison is a testament to the strength of human will, but it's also a chilling reminder of the harsh realities faced by those behind bars. What lengths would you go to for freedom? Subscribe to our channel to hear more unbelievable stories like this.